floriculture flourish in Indian market? I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, listeners. You most welcome for this discussion. So, our today's topic would be: Will floriculture flourish in Indian markets? This is very important to introduce the floriculture industry. Uh, if we compare to the modern agriculture and rather protected agriculture, floriculture is the newest one. This is started after the liberalization policy in 1991, and export-oriented units were coming into the place. And after uh, the 1990s, almost 3 decades we have crossed, and now we see nearly 8 to 10% increase every year in the floriculture business. As you see, there are 120 or more than 120 countries over the world where the floriculture is going on, and we are part of the global industry in producing cut flowers, also exporting cut flowers, and also importing cut flowers which we do not grow, and which cut flowers are not endemic to our Indian continent, rather Indian ecosystem, agri ecosystem. So we do not grow them, and we import from the other countries. And our almost 30 to 35% demand is met out of the import we get from various countries in terms of cut flowers, and also in terms of other products. So the area expansion have been very rampant in the India, and over 2,20,000 hectare land has been occupied for the with under the floriculture business. So rather the almost 75 to 78% of flowers, largely loose flowers, are composed out of it, are grown endemic, and rather sold in the domestic market. So that's how, if we see the scenario as of today, our domestic market has gone more than 1,200 crore, which was nearly uh, 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 300 to 400 crores in the last 10 years in India, as far as the consumption is. So over the 10 years, if we see the statistics of the export industry, that has grown from 50 crore to over 500 crore. So the global trade, as it was almost 7 billion 10 years ago, but now it stands in almost next 13 years from 7 billion to 70 billion. The largest export market for all of the countries in the globe is Netherlands, and the largest importer from the Netherlands, which is an auction market, is United Kingdom. So our some part of the export is also directly reaching to UK and other European countries. Our 70% export is destined to the European countries, largely to the Netherlands, and again after auction it goes to the several other. So if we see, in spite of Alzamir as an auction market in the global map, Dubai has also come up with another auction market, a replica of it, in the last few years. So where almost 140 countries they participates in the export and import activity of cut flowers. And if we see the annual growth of the global cut flower trade, rather is 10%. And now you can access digital platform to buy cut flowers for importing cut flowers, and also exporting the cut flowers. So auction market you can handle very well on the digital map. So this is how the flower trade is being controlled in the globe. So if we see the floriculture scenario in India, as I said, though the production and the commercialization of floriculture industry started in 70s, and as I said, after the 1990 liberalization policy allowed the import of the elite material for cut flower production and also for commercial farming of flowers. So India was open to the greenhouse technology, and a lot of EOUs and also the domestic flower production uh, uh, units were installed, and also the farmers started commercializing the floriculture after 1991. Here you can see uh, uh, after within 10 years in 2012 and 13, the area also increased to the tune of 218,000 hectare. And if you see, the production has gone almost 20 to 25 folds. If we are expecting that this production will increase in terms of acreage, like 900,000 hectares in the times to come by 2050, and the production will increase at least 1200 times. So this is the value. If you see, when we started the valuing the floriculture in 1991, so we were merely exporting the flowers worth rupees 14 crore. And then in 11-12, we exported 365 crore worth flowers. So we are expecting that this value will increase by over 1,11,366 crores by 2050 if the increase and domestication and also production activity in the flowers. So our trade will increase like anything. So here, if we see the production value of our financial year in 2020, as I said, if we accumulate the production and the export market from India, the volume of production in terms of it can be more than 530 crores in 2022. So in here you can see very well that the state of different states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, MP, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, UP, Assam, and nearly Uttarakhand, Himachal, and other states are taking part in the commercial activity for the promotion of floriculture business. If we see the product and services which are very important for the export and also for domestic markets, so we grow a lot of cut flowers, and also, as I said, loose flowers are the part of domestic floriculture business, where 70% is composed of loose flowers, and the 30% of flower produced like cut flowers, and 90% is exported to the foreign destinations. Also, recently we have been witnessing the growth of growing cut greens for the export and also for the domestic consumption. And also the foliage and flowering potted plants, production of potted flowering plants have increased. Then out of this product, the value addition have also been taken up in terms of making dry flowers. And it would be surprised to note that the dry flowers and the dry flower market has grown so much. And from India, if we say in terms of total trade, almost 65 to 70% is composed of dry flowers and flower products exported to the foreign destinations. Now, not only this, we are also indulged in production of bulbs and tubers, also for domestic market and also for exporting out. So then hybrid seed production of the flower have also been started nearly uh, 3 decades, and now it is being taken a commercial activity independently by the Indian firms for producing seeds, and also by the Indian firms in collaboration with the large giants in overseas, and they as a protocol produce seeds for them, and then seeds that goes back after processing, pelleting, and packaging. It comes to the our country, and also to the Asian countries and other countries in the world. So the flower trade has becoming a big business. Flower seeds trade is becoming big business as a outsource industry in India, because in India, if you go to the middle part of Western India, and also the northern part of India, like Himachal and Uttarakhand, so the seed production has been a very good business, and as a protocol, the large number of companies are outsourcing their seed production in India, and we are getting a good floriculture business out of it. Similarly, a large number of perfumes and distilleries have been taking place, because the huge quantity of flowers, loose flowers, cannot be really sold, but for value addition, for making out the perfumery, this is also being done. The next comes plant rental services. Earlier in India, it was a very less known business, but now, owing to the development of metropolitan cities as mega cities and smart cities, so the housing sector and the hotel sector and also aesthetic sector has become very prominent. So now, for maintenance of the common buildings, hotels, and also the government buildings, so rental service has also been started, where the plans for a season, for annual maintenance, they are kept coming, and the old plants being replaced out of it. So the rental business have also been coming into the place. So the floriculture is taking a diverse form of renting business in terms of potted flowering plants and also ornamental plants. Similarly, because we have a very large market of, we are a very, after China, we are a very populous country. So very recently, because of social ceremonies, wedding ceremonies, and also several occasions of Happy New Year, then different festivals all over India from north to south, we are getting a good business of arrangement of flowers, decorations, and also flower crafts. And also not only this, different form of garlands, crowns, and also strings are being manufactured. They are prepared for the seasonal sale, and lot of business is there in the flower sector for several festivals and seasons. So now, in the next format of it, specialty flowers and wild ornamental plants are also being marketed all over the Indian states, and depending on the seasons. So wherever the states do not produce any uh, flower or ornamental plants, because they are not endemic to that area, cannot be produced. So some plants are produced in the north, they can be transported in the south, and those can be produced in the south can be transported back to the northern states of the country. So similarly, the landscape designing projects have come up. As you see, the landscape architecture business is on high rise, like high rise buildings, and also in the mega cities, as a rule of maintaining the environment and the greenery. So the National Green Tribunal had set a norm that if any housing project or office project is coming up, they would have at least a minimum threshold area of greenery so that the environment can be or ecology of that area can be sustained, and also the aesthetic point of view can be restored in such rehabilitation of new cities and societies, and also the commercial infrastructure which is coming up. They should have a maximum green patches in and around so that a fresh oxygen bank can be created. Not only this, the shelter belts also can be created, and this is a part of the landscape architecture and design for ameliorating the effect of that construction going on for the developmental of housing and commercial sector. So similarly, as I said, the container gardening is also flower basket gardening, pot gardening is also on very uh, trendy. Uh, they are hired for maintenance of buildings and other uh, houses, individual houses. So here, as I said, that in spite of that floriculture is booming in India, we have a lot of challenges. So in spite of uh, the area is increased, number of flowers or crops are increasing, and also people are taking up as a commercial activity of flower cultivation, but there are challenges. So some challenges which are as the production level, some challenges we can have as post harvest level, because we need to know the post harvest package of those produced and cut flowers so that they can be marketed fresh in domestic market, and also they can be sent in a cool chain to the long destinations for export activity. And also the market related challenges are there. Sometimes we do not have a cargo space nearby, so air freights are either poor or very costly. They are not available, or space is not available. If it is available, it's very costly. So this cost cannot be met for a small quantity of cut flowers as a consignment. So the airport infrastructures need to be very stronger, and they can meet the guidelines of European Economic Community EEC uh, 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 EEC requirements for the custom. So and also because the labor is enough, but labor is not cheap because of its efficiency. So either maximum labor is untrained, unskilled, and not very well educated. So this the flower cultivation and the export activity is suffered. So this again there is a problem that India is not well governed by the breeder rights and royalty rules. So there are difficulties in exchanging or getting every time the updated new varieties so that a production level can be maintained with the quality acceptable in the international market. So in spite of all these facts, so establishing a flower cultivation unit, then it is a high capital cost. So not all farmers can afford, but uh, in spite of the subsidy given by the government, so farmers cannot sustain that high cost of establishment, and many times they end up in losses. So sometimes the production units are closed down. So if we see the climate constraints all over the globe, so as you see, our Indian continent is also in the area where we have a temperature vulnerability for the production of crops. So though it is very well spread in all over the globe, some or the other reasons that temperature changes are minimal in some areas, but Indian continent, it's a maximum change of temperature which govern the production cycle of the plants. So the export activity or domestic marketing activity may many times governed by these all rules. So as we see that every year there is a rise in the temperature because of CO2 concentration is rising, and it may not be vital for growing many flowers. And similarly, the rising temperature is injurious for the crops which are normally grown by the bulbs. So why it is detrimental? It is detrimental that most of the bulbous crops, when they sprout, their bud normally travels on the top, and later it develops into the flowers. So increasing the temperature or a high variation in the temperature may destroy the quality of development of or growth and development of those buds, and later the normal flowers may not open when they are need to be marketed. So we are observing the early harvesting of flowers, which may not coincide with the good quality of cut flowers, and also with the demands in the local market or in the destination market. So domestic markets can very well play with the unopened flowers, but when they are open well, so they cannot be sent to the auction market, because they need to be harvested in the tight bud stage, and we may not, until the flower is opening, we may not know whether the flower will open normally or that the quality will be reduced. So similarly, both ways, the quality as well as yield may be reduced because of the climatic constraints. And also, if we are producing a crop for seed production, like as I said, the hybrid seed production is also going on outsourced basis from the large seed giant companies. So we have the production challenges, like if we have the small land holdings, we cannot cater a beneficial or an economic model of growing for the seeds or cut flowers. And then if we have the genetic stocks inferior and poor management of these crops, then we cannot have a good quality seed. And also our conditions, because they are very vulnerable for incidence of increasing humidity and also temperature over the time and within the day and within a week. So they may invite the large number of pests and diseases to attack our crops, and then we may end up in huge losses. So as I said, that the linkage of the research institutes and the farmers are still lacking. There's no enough know-how available to the farmers at the time of the need. But when they end up in losses, then there is no solution to it. So largely for the next year, they can be ready for the solution. And similarly, those farmers which they do not know or they do not fall in the areas where the sufficient know-how is available, so then there are losses because of post-harvest activities. So either they do not have on-site package houses, storages, or they do not have a proper transportation chain. Refrigerated vents are not there, so they may end up in the less quality cut flowers of the flower produce. So these post-harvest challenges are also very important after the harvesting of cut flowers until they are sent to the market. Then their freshness need to be maintained. So there should be a proper cool chain from the site of production to the site of market. So an entire cool chain from a destination until destination need to be maintained. So as I said, the market challenges, there are also many because as I said, that all over the globe, because of some economic crisis, that the prioritization of the budget and the money, lot of government have not taken up very well these production and export activities all over the globe. But at the same time, because of the freight charges have risen up, uh, then the lot of export units have discouraged, and also to match with the European market demand because of packaging standards, because of quality standards, and also because of maintenance of health, hygiene, and neat and clean product, disease free products, and also product from residual toxicity. There are problems in the international market for export. So, as not only all of these, but the labor is also very constant, because, as I said, not too much skilled manpower is available. If they are not cheap because of their working efficiency, and also uh, at the time of demand, at the time of harvest, so normally there is a less of labor available. So as we need, if we want to flourish the floriculture industry, then in spite of all these challenges, we need to have the skilled manpower and also elite planting material. So as I said, elite planting material is why not available in India. That is only because of we are not following the 100% plant breeders' rights and royalty standards, and the at international level, lot of pirating is being done to produce the plants or plantlets all over the globe. But the Indian continent has surpassed so many, and that's why it will take time to generate uh, our new material, our own material. But there are a lot of activities which are going on, the reorientation of agrotechnology, standardization of production technology, and also the research is going on designing the local locally suitable greenhouse structures, where if we can compromise a few percentage on the yield and quality, but we can still have a good production out of it. So this is also need to be done, that our locally available germplasm can be screened to produce the loose flower, cut flower, and also flowering potted plants. So a lot of work is going on, and there are many institutes working on the flowers and flower products. NBRI is working, then IIHR in Bangalore is working, and also Directorate of Floriculture Research in Pune is also working, and then IRI New Delhi is also working on invention of the new varieties, traits, and also the production technology, and also imparting training to the farmers to make them skilled to go for the flower production, and also the package of practices. So here comes a big role that F1 hybrid seeds, which we are dependent on importing from outside countries. So if we have strengthened our program into the government sector, that and also our big giants like Indo American Hybrid Seeds and some other companies which are working to produce the F1 hybrids in flowers, and very soon they would be in the market available. So, and our floriculture industry will flourish in no time. Then the as I said, the packaging standards for the cut flowers and cut greens, they need to be although there are national and international standards. So internet, if we are exporting cut flowers, so there are international standards which need to be followed, and this is available for all exporters. So APEDA is facilitating all the protocols and standards to be followed by the exporting firms and the people from India. So for various crops and products. So as I said, that they need to be taken up as a recent developments to boost the floriculture business. Of course, it is blooming. Like Northeast is a very good endemic area for orchids, for anthurium, and for a lot of flowers and potted plants. So very soon, these areas are growing, and there is a lot of production and the uh, transportation of the planting material from these destinations to the North Indian plains and also South India to be grown. And similarly, The floriculture business is also taking a lead in isolation of the natural colors, dyes, pigments, and also perfumes, and also different essential oils, which are now making a big part of the global trade from India. And similarly, as I said, our own indigenous flora, which is available in Indian continents, can be standardized for the production technology and package of practice of growing them for good quality and cut flowers. So they need to be taken up. And also dehydration and value addition of cut flowers in terms of the products, souvenirs, they can be another industry out of the floriculture, which needs to be taken up, and it is going very strong. People are making organic products from flowers. Even scent sticks are being made, and also greeting cards, wedding cards are being made, and several flowers are being made dried. As I said, 65 to 70% flower dry flowers are being exported from India and getting a lot of import export money out of it. And as I said, the new varieties to come up is also one, but it takes a long time. But several institutes are molecularly breeding these new varieties, which normally take 2 to 3 years time instead of taking 8 to 10 years. So it's a very fast process. And very soon we will focus on the ornamental plants. So as I said, after COVID-19, the several firms and the companies, they have diversified their business from growing flower to growing potted flowering plants. So if you go to the northeast, if you go to the Uttarakhand and Himachal, and also uh, Tamil Nadu, and also Karnataka, a lot of ornamental potted plants, container plants are being grown, and they are being sent to the global destinations at a very high price. So, and also landscape consultancy business is available uh, uh, for the big, uh, reasons, like the metropolitan cities are coming up, smart cities are coming up with a lot of open space, creating the golf courses, lawns and parks, and also like play sports fields. So you will see in no time that a landscaping business with the different grasses, lawns, it would be a new floriculture arena in the times to come. And after I come to the loose flowers, where the value addition, as I said, dye flowers for which are being used for both domestic and in domestic markets, so they are also booming. And now almost no flower is wasted. So if you see the flowers are out of the sale, they are immediately go for the value addition. So dry flower making, color making, pigment making, and also different dyes and also essential oils are being taken out from those as a business to be grown. So as I said, that the new opportunities have come up, like the modern nursery business is coming up, the floral art and designs is coming up, then dry flowers and foliage making is also coming up, and then flower seed production is also one future of the floriculture industry. And not only this, the flower extracts, essential oils and natural dyes, natural colors in the times to come, instead of a very green and clean environment. So you will see in the times to come that the entire floriculture business will also include the potted flowering plants, and using the vertical farming models, and also in the cities and mega cities where these products are very high in demands. So now the fashion will come that people will not grow by themselves, but they will go to the grocery shops and will buy flowering plants to decor their in and around house yards, and then they will be very happy in the times to come. So this business will grow like anything, and this floriculture will boom. As I said, that uh, in the countries which really they have taken floriculture as a big business, so there almost 60 to 70% GDP is governed by the floriculture. So Netherlands is such an example where only two industries are contributing at the most, one the floriculture and the dairy industry. So you can take the example of such small countries where the 70% GDP is composed of only two sectors, livestock and the floriculture business. So thank you very much, and we hope that India's future is also bright, because we are a very vast country. We have a very diverse climate in India, and we can have as many or as large number of flower crops can be grown in different parts of the country and can be exported to the destination markets. So thank you very much. Thank you for patience hearing, and now I welcome for the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mam Singh, for the detailed presentation. Now we'll take up some questions. Okay. So the first question is, what are the key factors that determine the success of the floriculture industry in the Indian market?
Yes, as I said, there are two keys which can make any floriculture unit very successful. One is the market available as close as possible. Then the another one is the climatic suitability of the crop where we want to grow that crop. So thereby we will have less production cost. If you have the less production cost, then you can be more profitable. Yes, please.
Okay. And what are the current trends and demands in the Indian floriculture market?
Yeah, as I said, this Indian market is growing at 15 to 18% every year. So except the Corona COVID period, if we see, the market has grown again. So now in the first year, it was 7 to 8% growth. And in 20 to 21, it was 10 to 12% growth in the flower and ornamental sector. And now it has come to 18 to 20% growth per annum in 1 year. So now, if we see, we were expecting that our export market will grow only up to 350 crores, but now it has grown up to 530 crores. So this you can see that our market, our floriculture business is growing post COVID also in the same manner.
Okay. And what are the major challenges faced by floriculture businesses in India?
Yeah, there are only two challenges which floriculture business is failing, because as of now, the plant breeder rights are not very concrete. The royalty is an issue because every time we need to buy the good quality planting material, which is not available in India. So the quality, these constraints are uh, we are bound to use the old varieties to grow for cut flowers, because at several point of time they may not have a good quality cut flowers, number one. Number two, they are likely to have less productive. So less productive because they are also already outdated. Their genetic stock is already outdated. So if we have the norms to revise our royalty rights and breeder rights, then we can buy, or the government can give some subsidy over it, or government can encourage to buy um, uh, a sustainable quality planting material from outside. Then we can be very competitive for export market. For domestic market, we are already approaching some of the new varieties which are coming, but they are coming in very less number. So even if they are coming in very less number, then the planting material uh, is not available to that extent. So we need to have the collaborative firms with the government institutions, then they can buy the planting rights of the planting material to multiply, and we can have the large number of planting material for growing for the domestic requirement and also for the export.
Okay. And how does the Indian floriculture market compare to international markets in terms of opportunities and competition?
Yes, because we are very populated country, and our market is bigger than anyone. So if you see the recent last 3 4 years, the use of flowers and cut flowers have increased to 40%. If we compare in the last 10 years, so in last 2 3 years, we have grown 40% for consumption of our own domestic market produced flowers and also from imported flowers. So it is a surprising fact that now we also have started importing cut flowers, and also our domestic consumption has increased. And when our domestic consumption has increased, so it is very indeed that we will need more and more production out of it. So in that line, we think that our own consumption has gone from 1200 crore to 3000 crores. And if we see this gap within last 5 years, that 1800 crore rupees, the market has developed. So, and it has developed only because of improved amenities, improved sense of belongingness to the flowers, and also the people have started buying flowers, using flowers, growing flowers, and also consuming flowers and flower produce.
Okay.
Yes, please.
And what are the potential growth areas for floriculture in India?
Yes, as I said, our government is also giving emphasis to promote the indigenous flower crops and also the flora and fauna. So if we see the potentiality, the Western India will always remain a potential area to produce the large number of flowers and cut flowers. Similarly, for the indigenous flowers, Uttarakhand and Himachal and the entire Northeast is also have been identified, and a promotion activity of the floriculture business has been created by creating the export economic zones by the government of India for each and every flower, and this number will increase in the coming time.
Okay. And Mr. Mohan wants to know what's the minimum investment of cultivation?
Yeah, if we plan cultivation for domestic market, then if you are in Western India, then you can start with 1,000 square meter. So this is one for one family. This is enough area for a reasonable support of for the income for the family. If you are in the northern India, because the climate is little constant over it, so 1 acre area is a sufficient area for sustaining a family business in northern India. So if you take the subsidy is given normally. If you take Western India, started from 560 square meter area to 1 acre or 2 acre or 2.5 acre. But in northern India, if you say the minimum area is subsidized 1 acre. So if there are many names in the family, then they can have the large area subsidy on the large area. But 1 acre unit is a sufficient unit for getting a good business out.
Okay. And how can farmers and entrepreneurs get started in the floriculture business in India?
Yeah, as I said, that there are provisions from NHB to start the business. NHB also approving the schemes for export promoted units, EOUs, and also you can approach the state governments. State governments are also already giving 50% subsidy. There is a mission development in horticulture scheme. So MIDH is also there. So they are also subsidizing. They are also promoting the floriculture, and also you can take the MSME loans to make a startup business in floriculture. So large number of businesses are coming up in terms of nurseries, and nurseries of the plants, seasonal plants, and also ornamental plants, and also seasonal flowering plants is going on increase. So this is a kind of entrepreneurship which a farmer or an unemployed educated person can start taking MSME loan. They can start up, and also number of farmers they can make FPO for taking any flower activity for domestic market, for export, and also for value addition.
Okay. So Mr. Mohan wants to know about 1,000 square feet, how much it will cost.
1,000 square feet would be a very small area. So normally the government has, if it comes under the subsidy, so normally this is a small area, will not get any subsidy. So if you exclude the subsidy part of it, so normally 1100 rupees per square meter cost will come. So 1 square meter is almost 10 square feet. So you can multiply this for 10 square feet. So normally 1100 rupees construction cost would come. So for nursery, this area is sufficiently uh, enough to produce 1 lakh plants every month. So if the investments are very less, you can plant 1,000 square feet nursery, and you can have almost 1 lakh plants producing every month, which can be a good business in NCR or in urban area where the seedlings are in demand, and you can sell the seedlings very easily.
Okay. Just couple of more questions. Okay. Mr. Mohan is asking about loss. Hello?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Dr. Mam Singh, he is
Yes, please.
asking for 1 acre cost.
Yes, please.
For one, Mr. Mohan wants to know for 1 acre.
1 acre. Yeah, normally 1 acre
Yeah.
cost would be around 35 lakhs.
Okay. Okay. So what are the popular flower varieties in Indian market and which ones have the highest demand?
Yes, if we see the statistics of the last year, the lilium has been highly in demand and sold for a very premium price. Then rose market was also at very remarkable price. Then we had the chrysanthemum, gerbera, at a very high demand. So, and I see in another coming 5 to 6 years, the flower market will be less than the demand. So it means the farmers will always get a higher price than the expectation.
Okay. So now we have the last question. Are there any specific strategies or best practices that can help floriculture businesses thrive in the Indian market?
Yes, as we always advise that uh, s- uh, a lot of farmers, they take subsidy and they make the greenhouses, but they forget the consultant. So consultant is always there for 1 year maintenance in the project, and normally many of the farmers, they do not take advice from them. So always there are consultant to advise. So if they are already there, so they should be consulted, and the flower crops should be grown in their guidance. So this is must, because farmers many times they do not know that the pest occurrence and the control on this, and also the several strategies to keep the healthy crops. So that's why they suffer. If they suffer for 10 to 15% yield, so that is their margin. If they will get 15 to 20% more yield rather than getting the less, but they will have 25 to 30% profit from their business. So this is one advice which one should give. And also the another advice is, farmer, they need to survey the market first, which crop is easily being sold and in market demand is there. So according to their local demand or market demand or domestic market demand, they should plan a crop in the every year. So every year the trend of the market is little changed. So once if the market price is gone little lesser in the season of demand, then they should not disappoint. They should not change the crop. So they should stick to remain with the crop, but producing a high quality and healthy crop. So if they have the healthy crop and quality cut flowers and more yield, then their loss would be compensated, or they will have higher margins in the next year. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, sir. I don't see any more questions from our participants. So now we have come to end
Thank
of
you, ma'am.
round.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for the detailed presentation and answering all the questions in depth. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.